One and all, it's time to meet the Giant Slayer. This legend almost beat the rank #1 Marine Lord in a best of 5 the other weekend. Now he faces off against a formidable opponent. It's going to be Lucifron going up against Voldemar. And game 1 is already delivering. Look at these picks. We've got House of L's up against the Chinese. Let's get into it. Oh, this is going to be fun, folks. Yes, this is the Apophis Cup. It's a $3,000 tournament, 2 weekends long, and we're here in the quarterfinal showdown for Voldemar in the yellows, China, up against Lucifron as the House of Lancaster. This is going to be a fun one. We're going to use a little bit of 2x speed here because we're a little bit late starting this. We just had our third place match from the KPMM. Reminder, you can always catch our midweek muster action Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Fridays. Do tune in for those live. It's a blast. We have an amazing community. I'm sure they'll welcome you. But this is a fun one. China actually getting spear rushed is a little bit rarer. You know, normally most civs are like, what's the point? They get it so fast. But the idea is you can stop your opponent from getting pro scouts by doing this. So 2 spears going to show up. Great micro by Lucifron. Notice the way he's playing this. He's just edging it. He's never overcommitting because there's a risk you'll get shivved down if you do it that way. Now he goes to the dive in, seeing the injured villagers. But good micro by Voldemar. Remember, this is a no Imperial official build. My concern, though, is Voldemar played this in the most gluttonous, insane way possible. Had Lucifron seen this spawn, this could have easily been an outpost rush. Gold and berries next to each other, Voldemar's game could have been over before it started. Yeah, Spearman is going to go down, though, so he does actually nab 1. That's wild. I can't believe that. Lucifron right now is probably shaking his head like, if I only I knew, right? Like, hindsight's 2020. Because an outpost here just essentially screws Voldemar. He'd have to pull villagers against, say, 4 or 5 spears. But Age-Up's going to be coming through. It is going to be Abbey of Kings. We're going to do the 4x speed now, so we save a little bit of time. But this build is toxic. What else can you say about it? We've been seeing it a few times now, and the Hobbler opening, the follow-up plays. I think that this is just becoming quickly the bully build, the best build that Lancaster has. I mean, for obvious reasons, right? Like getting 20% more HP. The way I describe it to people, like you got to process what this really is. 4 of these guys, 5% extra health per. If you get 4 of these guys online, you are getting Elite Army Tactics health, an Imperial Age tech in Feudal Age. You're not getting the damage, but the health is incredible. So Voldemar does re-secure his gold. Had to go archers, though. And has got the stables, so it is indeed going to be pro scouts. He rushes out into the gold. But the Lord is already arriving. Oh, that's not good. No, this guy is so much harder to kill than the Spearman. So he can force a lot of idle time, slow you down. And, like, in terms of taxation, okay, that's not bad. Voldemar's got 121 gold. He could just tax his way through. He's already got 3 Imperial officials out, so he can definitely afford to tax his way towards pro scouts here. Second Lord arriving. He's going to need to tax his way. Like, no way, dude. If you can get enough horsemen, you can actually quite easily kill Lords. Because you just basically surround them and stop them retreating. Right? It's kind of like, you guys remember when you used to have the English Mongol meta? And the idea was that you pick Mongols because you could build horsemen against their Dark Age men-at-arms. And you just poke them down. Because with good micro, you can stab them and move away before they react. So that's what you could kind of try to do here. Easier said than done, of course. We are now getting the manners. Hobbler switch coming. Now, this is where this build gets ridiculous. It's always been the Hobbler. Hobbler's weakness is meant to be their fragility. They are situationally as good as horsemen while being cheaper, and the situations when you're against archers. But with the Lords, with this extra health, with an extra 5 HP per, they're almost at horseman level health, while you pay 33% less. Right? It's ridiculous when you think about it that way. And, you know, we've seen so many games against Mass Hobbler end at 15 minutes. In fact, in our third place matchup in week number 5 of KPMM, we saw game 1 pretty much decided by a dive of 15 units to end a castle age up. 15 units total. So that was 4 lords, a scout. He had 3 or 4 spears, and then like the rest was Hobbler. So it's not a lot, but it just shows you the raw value of HP. Voldemar. I like that he's not just defending. He needs to cut reinforcements, because the problem is trying to take a direct fight here. These guys are just going to square up to you easily. Now we dive in. Does get a worker kill. Nicely played by Lucifron. The other concern here is, like, if you have to directly contest, Lucifron, especially if it's Hobbler, can just pull them one by one back to heal. Incredibly valuable element of the Abbey of Kings. You can't go spears against Hobbler. Not early, because like the problem is early they get bogged down on lords, and then later on you should encourage yeomen. So like kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. And the beautiful thing about what Lucifron's doing, the manners gives him the extra eco he needs to afford the most expensive bowman you're going to get outside of Gilded Archer. But the cooler thing to think about here, what makes Hobbler and yeomen so good, is Hobbler are cheap horsemen. Yeomen are more expensive archers. When you math out the balance of the difference in costs, it's actually cheaper to scale yeoman and Hobbler than it is to scale horseman and archer, right? Because you pay 80 normally for an archer, so you pay 15 more in a yeoman. But your Hobblers cost 30 less. And the other cool thing, the cherry on top, the reason why this build is just so flexible. We talked about how good it is with Hobblers. We could see how good it is with Spearmen as well. It makes sense. Even Yeoman. Yeoman is a fragile unit, really. Like, they're fast moving, so sometimes they don't feel it, but you feel it in your wallet when they die. Well, that's where having an extra 14 HP goes a long way. That means it takes 3 extra archer shots to kill you. I just love how much stack up we get nowadays in Feudal. Great grab. Love that. Hobbler's intercept on the scouts. I didn't get the second one. So he ends up losing what? Scout, Hobbler. Nice one scout. Not the best trade. But it's all about slowing down timings. He doesn't want this ramp up in terms of food gathering for Voldemar. I mean, Voldemar barely has any deer home, right? Like, I think he's got 1. Yeah, 1 and then berries. This is bad. See the Hobbler just inching around the side. Yeoman going for the trade out to make their life easier. They are susceptible to a dive, but good reaction there with the spears to scare him away. Lucifron. It's just going to retreat. We're going to do 2x speed. Like I said, we've got some catching up to do. Whenever they're not fighting, we can do a bit of this, but it's full Yeoman blob. I mean, Voldemar, he has a lot of horsemen, so in theory, should be favorable engagements if he can just get past the lords and not get bogged down on them, but a lot of the time, he keeps frontlining for his archers, even when there's no Hobbler here. Like, that's the weirder part. Look, it's happening again. His horsemen just keep pulling back, engage, instead of diving for those yeoman kills. It's so difficult, man. Like, the problem is, yeoman, they move quicker than standard archers, so he's worried he's going to get kited, but the way he's fighting this, there we go. You just need to go in, because the more you don't, the worse it gets. Those health bars are already getting low. So Voldemar jumps before those health bars run out. And you can see what he was scared of, these yeomen just shifting away. But it's a good timing. He has Undermesh. Steeled Arrow wasn't in yet for Lucifron. He's going to be hugging the lords just to try and stay alive, which will even up the fight. Also a nice kind of counter dive there, just pushing the archers away. A lot of wood now for Lucifron. He has started to move to deer. This is playing really well because he's slowing down Pro Scout so much. He's just gaining the map resources without struggling. The wall's now up. Gold in the corner. Actually, Lucifron got a really good spawn, right? Yeah, the back double gold, the berries, Kushki, even a relic back there. The tree lines, like, it's a nice area to extend into in your mid game. For Voldemar, yeah, we get that little bit of a poke in. And this is impressive. Voldemar, he's aging behind this. So we're going 4x speed. Let's catch up a little bit more time. Astronomical Clock Tower coming through. I'm impressed, man. Like, he pushed Lucifron all the way back as if he's all-inning, and Lucifron seemed to kind of buy it for a second there. It's age up complete. He tries to spring to action. Now, I wouldn't just call this safe and home for Voldemar because I have seen so many players do this against Lancaster Lords and die because of the castle. He, however, is playing a Civ that can rapidly produce out their units. He's also playing a Civ that has bought time. He got Luciferon pushed all the way back to his base. Sadly, he only has one Lancer to show for that. I mean, eventually, that one Lance has still not been birthed yet. Dive coming in. Luciferon looking to punish. Gets the Taxman kills. Finds the Worker as well. Horseman count is not high. There's no threat to the Yeoman. Luciferon will contest the Veteran Archers. Now, this is interesting. You'd think Vet Archers beat Yeoman in Feudal, but no, guys. When you talk about Archer and Archer fights, the higher number often wins over the Veterancy because the Veterans end up overkilling often anyway. Yeah, so you're pacing similar. It's just a case there's more here. Lord's baiting a lot of time. Hobblear now arriving. The Lancers finally got queued up more. The problem here is there's no clear gold access. Voldemar, he has got that corner gold. He just doesn't want to play for it. It's too risky. Great position for Luciferon to be in. And this is full ham fist send it. He is not being greedy. He's not saving up for the next stage. He's looking for that killing blow, that decisive moment. That spill of blood that says, this is now my game fully. Voldemar has arrived and... oh no, the timing! The Hobblear jumped in at the perfect moment. Forces the idol, catches the extra workers running out. I mean, we knew this was coming and so did Luciferon. He's now steering with the Yeoman into the backside. Oh, worker being found. What a strike by Luciferon. The goodness of Voldemar is like a lot of these kills have been Taxmen so far, hence why he's only 3 workers ahead. Current kill count being higher. But that's about to change. Yeoman. They're taking a stab at it. Only a handful of spears. Yeoman. Just trying to trade out there, but the spear line, I don't think Luciferon can actually stay here. No. It's 4 Lancers. You've only got 6 spearmen. And the archer count, there's just enough left to get rid of this. Yeah, the spear count is pretty much gone. Luciferon, only 3 left. So Voldemar, he will be able to hold in his corner. Now Yeoman in full retreat, but Lance is great at chasing that. We've already got the Undermesh. No ranged armor too, mind you. Not that you need it at this stage. You have the effective amount of armor. Remember, Yeoman can only do 6 damage. Luciferon's still just trading out against those archers. Remember, he's only level 1 manas. He does not have this huge inflatable economy behind this. He has an infinite trickle, but it's not broken out of control. Lancers just continue to ignore the Lords. They're just too tanky, not worth it. Voldemar, this is buying him the world right now. The berry is already exhausted. Second pack to be moved to in a second. He's not gone for the rewall, though. And the Lancers, they are going to have to retreat. Yeah, so barely gets away with any of them. I think Luciferon is thinking about next stage now, though. Right, it's been kind of dragging. He got some damage done. He didn't get a crazy amount, but he's also just like forced his opponent to the very edge where he's just running out of food now. You go 4x speed. Looks like there is going to be an approach. Villagers get caught again. I'd be surprised if Luciferon could break in here. Because Voldemar has got a lot of archers. Like, this is the moment. Just go for castle now. And what's up, Jean Doe? Going for the raid. Thank you very much, mate. I hope you had a good stream. Welcome one and all to the party. Oh, and it's a fun one. Luciferon versus Voldemar. After this, there's going to be, I believe it's Anatan versus Core. We won't have time to do that, I'm afraid, but we can at least do this one. The plan with EWC, by the way, Oppose World Cup, I won't be live tomorrow because I'll be casting the EGC qualifiers. I did already agree to that. But we will be able to do the third place match and grand finals of this $3,000 tournament on Sunday. That'll be our goal. As long as nothing comes up and I don't lose my throat. I don't know. I was just juggling a very ill baby for half an hour plus. I hope he hasn't got me ill. What's the Anatan core? I'll raid through to a channel that should be covering it. Oh, God. What? Just drank and someone went, "I'm the wrong hole." I'm dying. Oh, I'm alive, I think. The best part is it's apple flavored, so it's healthy. All right, White Tower up. Voldemar. He has got relics coming home, by the way. Jesus, I'm still dying. I need more subs so that I can afford private healthcare so I don't die. It's the only way. Barbican coming through now. This is a good sign for Voldemar. He's been harassed off that gold so long, it still has 3k on it. And this also now gives him Song to start inflating a lead, which he needs after those earlier hits he took. We are going to use a little bit of fast forward again. Farm's now coming in. I feel like we're hunkering for late game, right? But I don't know if Lucifron wants it to go there. Like, it is China after all. Lancers are going to try to sneak in. Love the fact that Voldemar, he's probably aware that Lucifron's bulking for this timing. Like, he's got some powerful spikes ahead of him with the Yeoman with Sync Shot. So he just wants to try and keep him on his toes defending instead of going in like this. And man, Voldemar, all of a sudden flush with deer after getting that breathing room. Does lose a few villagers, but now the main clash coming in. Lancers. Oh, wow. Lucifron with a poker face. He didn't react to it. So now the Lancers have to come home, but look at this. Lucifron is aware. He's steering to guard against it. The Lords are tanking up that backline quite a bit. A good defense. Voldemar able to scare him off here. Spears are still available to defend against the Lancers. That's exactly what Voldemar wants. Baits him forward. Gets the trade out with his archers. Lancers are actually going to hard commit here. There is Bill Hooks. It means the Yeomen are a bit more effective, but you don't want to be trading there. You want to be killing the archers. It's difficult to get away from these Lancers now. Lord's dead. Great fight for Voldemar. He's about to take the military lead. And this is still only 3 manas. Not just that. Is this a 4 relic game? No, okay, it's going to be 3-2. So Voldemar still gets an edge there, but Lucifron will have some gold to work with. His spawn is also, remember, really good. Double gold back. Beautiful area to set up farms as the game goes on. Wallable. Tree lines to work with. Like, he got the spawn for mid-game. I can't believe he's still trying to send it, though. You know, it's interesting because a lot of people are often worried about Lancaster's late game. But he seems to be more worried about China's late game, even though, what is that? No, you're banned, mate. Get out. Like, you have granaries. Oh, my God. What? No self-respecting Chinese spammer goes Great Wall Gatehouse while having that in the back. There we go. Granaries are coming through now. First time you've seen Lucifron out microed. Guys, I'm telling you, Voldemar is having the time of his life. Like, this guy is up and up. Like, buy stocks in Voldemar now. Well, the haters need to get out because this guy has impressed me. The last month of gameplay, Voldemar, it feels like he's matured more as a player than I've seen from him in the last 2 years. And it's interesting to think about because, you know, he's qualified for the American land where he could go and invade. There's Puppy Paw, there's Louis, there's Wham, there's Magic, MSN, Scarlet Devil, and Marine Lord of that land. And, you know, going into the event, people would have predicted Voldemar to probably finish between 8th and 5th. If he wins this series, after what he done against Marine Lord before as well, there's going to be a lot of talk about him as a top 4 player. Maybe top 3. Nick, since after you left uni? Yeah, and like, I remember, so I'm sure you don't mind me saying, like, we talked about it a little bit as well, because some people in the community were really harsh about, like, why would you do that? It's silly. I told him straight up, rumination is one of the most dangerous and horrific things you can encounter in life. If you will regret not trying to pursue being a pro, then pursue it. You've got time. You can go back. You can do university. You can do all these choices, right? But if you feel like the moment is now and if you don't do it, it's never going to happen, decide whether that regret is worse than any other outcome. And I'm glad for him that it's working out. He's already doing reasonably off of coaching. And this would be one hell of a boon for him. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying this so people like, yeah, kids, don't go to university. Like, if you have no idea what the hell you're doing with your life, right? One, figure it out. Like, don't just do uni to do uni, right? But like, if you're in a situation where you have an alternate plan and an execution and an idea, and you know you have the conviction and commitment, that's okay to go for. But if you're a person like, I want to play video games for a living, not going to school, then no, dude, you should probably just stay in school. Like, that's not for you. He clearly had thought about what he wanted to do here, and I'm glad that he's seeing results. So, farm's coming in. Things are looking pretty good for him right now. Lucifer is still playing catch-up, but Imperial Age is now on the way. We're going to stick with 4x speed, because there should be an attack on the age up. I just want to be mindful of, like, time here, because we did get to the series late. This is technically live. Like, we were in game 1 when we hopped in this. Now reroll Lucifron. I mean, this is the thing. When you age up, there is an inclination to attack, right? Like, when you age up, your opponent is inclined to try and do something to punish you for it. Lucifron, already still a scary boy. Army's pretty big, pretty threatening. Stonewall's coming in. Man, both of these players got really good corner spawns for farms. Do uni just to do uni if you don't know what to do with your life? Agreed. But, like, honestly, if you're going to just do uni to do uni, maybe it's time to think why you're doing uni. Because if you're going to uni and just doing a degree in philosophy or sociology, I mean, I don't want to crap on people that done it, but, like, there's probably, if you don't really know what you want to do, there's probably, like, better degrees to generically punt at for applicability down the line. Especially year 1 of university, considering, like, your grades don't count. Use that to discover what you want to do. Voldemar, what he wants to do is going to be nest of bees. Sing shot coming in. Good dodge by Voldemar. Micro on point so far. Nest of bees damage should add up over time, and Lucifron realizes this is a bad fight. Yes, the elite horseman now breaking past. Second wave of spearmen is coming. There's no uni upgrades on either side yet. Horseman, maybe a slight overcommitment here into the spear mass. Yeah, he's wasting so much time on these lords. Look at the armor. They've got 7 ranged armor. It's a tickling of damage. Spearman now show up afterwards. Vortex, Luceron rather. I was looking at the V. Has he just misread the situation? Voldemar, like, I think he should be fine because of the nest of bees on the Great Wall Gatehouse, but I think he jumped the gun trying to jump with the horseman like that. Right? He hadn't actually thinned out the spears yet. And how good are, what, Yeoman against Siege? Not very good. 85% damage reduction. Remember, Siege doesn't have ranged armor numbers anymore. They have percentile reductions. 85% reduction means you're barely doing anything, especially against Clock Tower Siege that's, quite frankly, in my opinion, broken. Because they get 50% more HP. Oh my, quite the push here. Dangerous one, though. Lucifer's got a little bit of time to work with, and he's making the right call. He's switching into Hoblar. Fire arrows they can clean. I mean, if you're talking about fire arrows, it's a race, right? Like, if Voldemar's up to 5 nested bees, you're not going to feel good about trying to trade. Yeoman. Also the Wingard. What? You never see this happening. The Ford Wingard might bite him in the arse. The villagers have to be pulled. He's got textiles. The nested bees shouldn't be doing that much damage because Voldemar does not have the additional barrel. So great read there. Lucifron gets the snipe. Takes out the siege. It does cost him on the eco count, but not an irreparable number. That was a great response by Lucifron. It can feel dangerous to do against Nest of Bees, but remember, they don't hit that hard without the additional barrels, especially against textile play. Now the Hoblar wave. just in time for the archer party. Oh, man. This is not going to be over that quickly, is it? No, like, I mean, you can feel the urgency. Voldemar sensed the timing, but Lucifron just so on point, where most people would just pull the villagers away. He pulls them into the danger. And Voldemar, I'm not crazy about this. I know hand cannoneers for China are really good, but you don't actually have good map control, and hand cannoneers suck into archers, especially longer range archers, because the issue here is you just get kited. Also, keep in mind, Voldemar does not have Yuan yet. So doing hand cannoneers without Yuan is kind of a death sentence. You can't catch. What's up, Fat Flop? Thank you very much for the sub, mate. Appreciate you. Some shots coming through. Yeah, he's got the incendiary arrows. So now these yeomen actually sting. Bombard. Dive in there. The Hobbler. They are going to reach it, but the repair crew keeps the siege alive. And he wants that weapon of mass destruction gone. The Wingard Palace is the backbone of Lancaster's late game, guys, because Lancaster is all about overwhelming via trash mobs. And the Lancaster are able to get so many trash units out with the Wingard Palace. Remember, they just spam Earl's retinues to get loads of spears. We did get some Demi-Lancers littered in, though. Interesting choice. I guess it gives you kind of like the lighter version of a Knight Raid without committing to upgrading Knights, right? So it's not a bad idea. It's kind of like when you see an English player adding in Wingard Rangers, but they haven't upgraded Bowmen. Horseman. Oh, just getting able to shut that down. So, Lucifron now knows there's an opening. Will Voldemar wall this off to be fully safe? Because we had a pretty sick game between Wham and Numidan where he eventually done that. He just full stonewalled the corner, so he couldn't just be flank raided. It's a pretty good idea. And Voldemar will need some more stone if he wants to achieve it. Because you have Sealed Bowstrings now queued up for Lucifron. Scary, scary situation to be in, actually. Between the synchronized shot and the extra 1.5 tower range you're talking about here, these guys have more range than Lombos. Yeah, pretty much should scramble any belief in this mass hand cannoneer plan. And I'm glad Voldemar is getting rid of that idea. It's a switch into Palace Guard. Battle-hardened Palace Guard of that. Remember, China has a unique tech that makes them even tankier. There's a lot more staying power. Just 4x speed it up here a little bit. We're only getting tiny raids, no big substantial fight happening. Yeah, Lucifron is just trying to constantly flank raid him here to death. I mean, but Voldemar's kind of doing this to himself, right? Palace Guard aren't great against archers. They're better than building spears. And you can't build horsemen in mass spears. So if you build, even if Lucifron didn't have yeomen, you wouldn't want to build spears into Lancaster spears because Lancaster spears are much better. Right? It's not about Palace Guard being the best against X or Y. It's about them being the best neutral territory against X, Y, and Z. Right? Palace Guard against Spear, Hobbler, Yeoman aren't just going to immediately fall flat dead to any of those unit types. So as a front line, it gives Voldemar a lot more broad spectrum tank than he'd get otherwise. And also, they're a lot quicker. They arrive in the fights much faster. And if he now moves towards Yuan Dynasty, they turn into Zoomers in a game where his opponent also has not stone-walled. No, so he could pretty much just play Lucifron in his own game. Lucifron is committing to that game heavily. Bloody hell. More of these hobby raids. There's still no stone wall. No, I think the problem here is Voldemar would love to, but he just doesn't have stone access right now. You can't afford to buy it either. Purchasing stone is insanely expensive. Hobbler forcing the other time. Front side, we've got Culverins knocking at the door. This is starting to look full Lucifron control. I think that the thing with Voldemar, he micro in these fights really well. I think he actually took great fights from a micro perspective against one of the best micros in AoE 4. But the thing that seems to have been missing is the strategical planning of where you go next. He thought about it a little bit with this goal placement, right, with the keep. But like, we talked about stone walls. Like, where's your stone? You know, when did you secure this? When did you sneak for this? When did you move for this? Everything became very linear. And Luciferon is just able to meat blob and bloat and push with that, right? I think Luciferon, the shaky moment, genuinely was that push on the wing guard. Like, if he did not make that villager pull, I think we're looking at Voldemar demolishing the base right now. It's hard to scrape together the comeback when you don't have the spear spam. But Luciferon, looking like El Dictator here. Palace Guard wave has came out. That will slow him down. It's going to be retreat away. Luciferon's also doing a great job of maintaining the Lord production to buff his military. Now, where this gets interesting is if Luciferon just switches into mass Palace Guard, his are substantially better than the Palace Guard. Sink shot a bit of a waste. I mean, it doesn't matter. There's nothing good to hit here. Luciferon, I don't know, man. Like, is this really the way? I just praised him on like how he's taking control of the center, but he's now seen the Palace Guard. Okay, and there we go. We are getting the pivot. Elite Old Guard upgrade coming in 30. We'll see the cost in the meantime, though. It's a game where you feel like both players needed more walls. Because the Hobbler are still in on those farms. Voldemar, Eco is sinking, but if he can maintain 200 pop, this could be the coup de grace that he needs, the advantage of military to push through. It is a struggle, though. And Luciferon's going to make it worse for him. He's got cannon placement on the way. In front of a bombard. That is insanely ballsy. Voldemar. The Palace Guard line's starting to thin. No, it doesn't feel like it's breaking in. Oh my god. The bill hooks is just nuts. The minus armor is actually making it so the Yeoman's doing pretty well here. You know, we talked about the Palace Guard as a good jack-of-all-trades front line, but the thing that's missing is a backline. There is nothing here that kills. Everything to be killed. And that should be the dominant push point. Yeah, the kills on the back. Like, he never swept through and finished off all the Hobbler. So work has been going down there. Food income has been looking abysmal for Voldemar for the last 2 minutes, compared to Luciferon at over double the food income. Now we should be looking at push in. Just going to fast forward a little bit more between the fights. And oh no! Okay, Textiles wasn't even there. I think we can agree Sink Shot isn't as broke as people make out. Yeah, considering the amount of workers there without Textiles, I was expecting more death. But ranged armor 3 was good. But props to Luciferon, man. I think just ultimately punishing Voldemar for not having the foresight to get those walls up. And I feel a bit bad for Voldemar because, like, he's worked very hard to not just resort to walls by default like so many people have in the past, and he has in the past. I hope this type of experience doesn't just make him say, I need walls. I just always need walls again. Because I think there are times for walls, and yes, there was a moment that wasn't identified here. But it's because you're playing against one of the best in the world that is keeping that pressure up to stop you just seemingly going. Still, I'm impressed, man. You know, he 3-2s against Marine Lord. He drags the late game to 40 minutes plus against one of the other Chads of Age of Empires 4, but in the end, there's no denying the Lancastrian dominance.